Hey guys, I wanted to talk about my four kind of non-negotiables or kind of the four guiding principles that I use now to maintain my weight loss and to keep myself healthy. It's not just about weight loss, right? Okay, number one, protein. I try to get a minimum of 100 grams of protein per day. So I'm working on that premise of 100 grams of protein for every 5 feet of height. I'm exactly 5 foot nothing. And of course, if you are taller than I am, it's 100 grams of protein for every 5 feet of height. And then you add 5 grams of protein for every inch after that. So if you're 5'10", that'd be a minimum of 150 grams of protein. If you're super active, you may need even more than that. But that is my number one kind of non-negotiable, is really prioritizing and trying to get a minimum of 100 grams of protein per day. The second non-negotiable is I try to eat a minimum of 35 grams of protein within an hour or two of waking every single morning. So where that comes from is research on leptin resistance. And what I know is that if you lose more than 10% of your body weight, leptin, it's a hormone produced by our fat cells or by the gut, I should say. It's a hormone that controls our metabolic rate, controls how much body fat we store. It also it also helps to regulate our immune system and our reproductive system. It's a really important hormone. It's so important. I actually have a section about leptin in the cooking community and a section about leptin resistance or leptin dysfunction. So eating within an hour or two of waking 35 or more grams of protein is number two. Number three is not eating after 7 p.m. at night. We know that people who eat larger meals late in the day have less good blood sugar control. They have, in general, lower metabolic rates, and they often struggle with hunger. So not eating, giving your body that 3 hour window before you go to bed can be really, really important for metabolic health. So I generally eat dinner around 6:30 when David gets home from work. On the weekends, if we're out with friends, maybe we eat later than 7 o'clock every now and then. But so it's just a general rule. And if I'm eating after 7, I'm not going to bed by 10. But give your body 3 hours between dinner and bedtime, and then you wake up ready for that good high protein breakfast, again, within 1 or 2 hours of eating. You let your fasting happen overnight. Have your last meal by 7, go to bed after 10. You haven't eaten until the next day. You've got a good 12 hours of fasting if you eat breakfast after 7 a.m. That's kind of how I operate. And then the fourth thing that I do, I'm trying to remember. I recorded this once, by the way, and didn't have any audio, so I had to redo it. What is my fourth thing? Oh my gosh, y'all. 100 grams of protein per day, eating within an hour or two of waking, not eating after 7 p.m. Oh, reducing my fat intake. I try to keep my fat grams under my protein grams. Depending on my hunger and depending on what I'm doing, 60 to 80 grams of fat per day. Now, is that low carb or keto? Well, of course it is. I'm still keeping my carbs under probably 30 total grams per day. Actually, I'm eating a little bit higher than I was in the past. But I'm also keeping my fat grams lower. But remember, 1 gram of protein gives you 4 calories. 1 gram of fat gives you 9 calories. You can eat roughly half the amount of fat grams that you eat in protein grams and still consider that a high fat diet. So I'm not eating a low fat diet by any stretch of the imagination. Those are my 4 really big things that I focus on every single day. In addition to that, I really try to work hard to prioritize sleep. Not always successful with it. And I also work to make sure I get some kind of physical activity every day, whether that's a 20-minute walk or whether it's out working outside. I can't wait to show you what I've been doing outside. Whether it's doing an exercise video, you need to make sure that you're using muscle. I do squats, I do body weight exercises, anything to kind of keep that functional movement. And as somebody who is in her 50s now, I think it's super, super important to make sure I'm trying to preserve that lean muscle mass. Not only does lean muscle mass try to help our metabolism, but lean muscle mass just helps our overall strength and health in general as we age. So, and speaking of aging, if you remember Winston, Winston's our English Springer Spaniel. Come here, Winston. Can you say hi? He is sleeping right now. Let me move the camera so you can see Winston a little better. He's as cute as ever, but he is 10 years old now, and he does have some arthritis and doesn't always feel really good. But anyway, he's still our sweet, sweet baby. So if you've missed Winston, he's here with me taking a little nap. He's prioritizing sleep, which is super important. Anyway, there's more that I do. And certainly, if you want more information, I'd love to have you join my cooking community. We have a whole section on leptin. It's that important. We talk a lot about the research for not eating late at night. We talk a lot about the research for why it's important to get that protein early in the morning and why it's important, especially to prioritize protein as we age. I also have research that points you to information about what kinds of workouts are best and why body weight exercises are so, so very important. So anyway, I hope that's helpful to you. Those are my big four. And like I said, there's more to it, and I'll be sharing that as we go along. But I hope that's helpful. You guys take care.